talk. We have a special guest in the studio with us. He is one of the younger members of the Monaldi brothers. He goes by the name Angelo Monaldi. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to be here.
Good, man. It's nice to have you in the studio with us. You know, we talked this up, and, you know, we want to talk a lot, actually, about the Monaldi brothers and, you know, where you guys were originated. And, you know, it's obvious that you guys are, you know, a mixed band. When I say mixed, you play all sorts of music.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That you know, date back in time and also come to the modern era of music and music artists. So that's a great thing to be able to do that. And basically, you guys are coming out of the Little Italy area, correct?
That's right. It pretty much started with my grandfather. When he came over after the war, he came over with a trumpet, a couple bucks in his pocket, landed in Virginia, and he said, "I got to get to Baltimore. I know a guy up there with the band." Mm-hmm. And he came up, played trumpet in the band for a while, and he said, "All right, I got to make my own band. I got to make some more money." So he found a woman. He had three boys pretty quick. My Uncle Pete and
he
twins.
Got busy, huh?
He got busy. He definitely got busy. It's he's definitely a legend. That my old man. He had my Uncle Pete, and then he had the two twins, Frank and Joe, and he started a band. Frank played the drums. Joe played trumpet with his father. They both played trumpet, and Pete played the accordion. And they used traditional Italian songs. They definitely made their niche with the Little Italy community.
So when you say Italian songs, what would be considered an Italian song?
That's Amore. That's
Amore.
Yeah, everyone knows that one,
yeah,
right?
Everybody knows that one. Everybody knows that one.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's definitely a classic. Volati's another one that we always love to hit, and O Sole Mio, and
yeah.
There's definitely a lot of that. So, anything Sinatra, Dean Martin, too. That's more of that modern Italian stuff, too.
Oh, yeah. Do people still request a lot of those old time songs?
All the time. I mean, we just played a gig yesterday at a place. It was a bar, and you see like younger people my age. They come up and they say, "Do you know any Sinatra? Do you know any Bobby Darin?" And we got it. We play all that stuff. So I always try to tell people with the band we have and the people we have in our band, we can do so many different things. I always say we can cover Sinatra to Bruno Mars.
Well, you're talking younger people, and as I glance over at you, you look pretty young yourself. So yeah, how old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
24.
Oh, wow, youngest dude in the room.
Yeah.
24 years old. How about that?
Yep.
And you can actually play some of these tunes as well. So yes. when you're called upon, you know, and you're the drummer, correct?
Yeah, I'm one of the drummers in the band.
You're one of the drummers. So how many drummers are actually part of the band? Now I understand that there's other factions of the band, or other entities under this Monaldi brother umbrella, and you know, I kind of wanted you to talk a little bit about it.
Yeah. So the first drummer was my Uncle Frank. He was the original drummer in the Monaldi brothers, and he still plays drums. Then it came down to the Facebook crowd there. He actually was drafted. He chose to go to the Navy for Vietnam.
Wow.
So the first brother Pete, he was drafted, but since he was the first child, and my grandfather really didn't want him to go, so he kind of fought hard and down there with Mimi DiPietro and some of the other Italian big bodies down there in Little Italy, and they kept him from going. And then it came to the twins to get drafted, and Frank was before he could get drafted and go somewhere. He said, "I'm just going to join the Navy." So he went and joined the Navy,
well,
and
thank him for his service.
Yes, he did his time there. He was in the submarines. And he definitely enjoyed his time in the military. So then he went to Vietnam, and my Uncle Lindo, who was coming up in the ranks, he started playing drums during that time. And when my Uncle Frank came back, Lindo picked the bass up, and then my dad was playing saxophone at that time too. So that was really the five brothers. They all started playing. That was the band. Then my Uncle Frank had a son, Steve Monaldi, and he's a phenomenal drummer. He came up through the ranks, and he was playing, and my father kind of took him under his wing with his brother Frankie on keyboard, and they made a band, and that was a band through the 90s, Great band.
All brothers. I mean,
all brothers, all cousins, nephews.
Same mothers and same mother and same father and all.
Yes. Yep.
Wow,
What a talented family.
Yeah, it was.
That's amazing.
The blood ran deep with the Monaldis. Yeah, it definitely did. And there's the two sisters too. We can't forget them, Maria and Rosanna. Yeah.
And you know what? I didn't ask you that, and that's interesting. So what? I mean, like the original. So it was 5 original Monaldi brothers.
That's right. Yep.
And you also had. Well, they also had 2 sisters.
2 younger sisters. Yep. And there was a third sister too. My Aunt Debbie. She was there too. But it was Maria and Rosanna. And Debbie, yeah.
Did they ever get involved in the music side of things?
Not really with the band as like full on joining the band, but my Aunt Maria, she sings every weekend karaoke, and she comes up with the band and sings with us whenever she wants to, and it's definitely they're musicians just as much as everyone else is.
It's kind of hard not to.
You gotta pick it up.
I was about to say that. Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, it's kind of hard not to feel as though they had some kind of musical talent as well.
I mean,
it didn't just skip over the young ladies in the family.
I mean, even my nonna, my grandmother, she was even a big influence with it all. I mean, not with the music side, but she raised 7 kids. I mean, she did it. She was a saint, that woman. So
wow, a lot of respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah. So,
and then I'm the third drummer, by the way. So it was Frank, Stevie, and then I came along.
Yeah. Now, how young were you when you started?
My father put me on drums. I was like 3 years old. Put me on a little tiny drum set.
3 years
wow,
old. I still can't.
Almost my son's age.
And I was about to say, like, can you imagine a 3-year-old?
It was definitely like it was a shtick. It was definitely like put the kid behind the drums and let him hit some things first.
It's like I can definitely imagine my 3-year-old son hitting things, but I just can't imagine doing it with rhythm.
Right.
Dude, you have no idea how valuable your hands are. I'm trying to tell you. I almost every venue and event that I've been to, when they book acts, it's hard to find a drummer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm surprised by that.
I'm
surprised by that, dude, because I feel like a lot of people are drummers. Like they feel like they are drummers and they can do it. But I mean, I guess from hearing a different side of that, it's kind of cool to hear that.
Yes. Oh, man.
I'm not one of those guys that can really identify like a really good drummer from a subpar drummer, but I noticed being in the company of drummers like Jimmy Zane, who isn't here right now, and I've been in the same room with him listening to a drummer play, and they're like, he's like, hey, that guy's, man, he's not that good, and and he's critiquing, and forgive me, because when he does hear a good drummer, he will then give that drummer credit and say, now that guy's really good. But to me, I don't really identify it. I'm like, well, it sounded all right to me. So, I guess you really have to have an ear for it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I was raised around music and listening to all different types of music. So I know a good jazz drummer, I know a good rock drummer, I know a good R&B drummer, I know a lot of different types of styles that play. So when I hear something, I will try to absorb it as much as I can. I never will say like that guy's bad. I will say that guy's got something good that I can learn from. He might set his drums up different.
And that's really good. That's really that's the kind of personality that I'm picking up from you, and that's pretty much the kind of guy I am. I don't really it's an art form. Right. And it's something that takes a while to acquire. I don't care how good or how bad you are. If you're presenting yourself and playing in front of an audience, then that means you put in a lot of time and effort and work in your craft.
It's definitely like passion's an understatement for like the Monaldi brothers in our family. Like people say we're passionate about music, but it's really like our lifestyle. It's we've been doing it since we could hold instruments. My Uncle Pete.
You said over 50 years,
Over
correct?
50 years. My Uncle Pete, he just turned 67 years old. Shout out to
and still
Uncle
playing.
Pete.
Wow.
Yeah, still playing music.
Uncle Pete, what's going on out there?
He might not want me to say this, but he's the oldest Monaldi right now, so he's...
Oh, you're in for it.
He's holding.
Someone's getting their legs broke.
It's out there now.
He goes to the gym, though.
Recorded.
He goes to the gym probably 3-4 times a week, though, so he's probably the best shape Monaldi still. So.
Well, but I mean, no pun intended. My observation of drummers is like most of the drummers that I know are well-reserved people, because you have to think when you play the drums, you're letting out so much aggression all at once.
I always tell people, I'm like, man, I get angry. I said, I wish I had something that I could like just go beat on. Once in a while, like something like just take 2 sticks in my hands and just hit something as hard as possible. I wish I had that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you seem like a real mild-mannered person.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get to beat everything on a weekend.
Yeah.
I get to hit things as hard as I want. Yeah.
You just turn like Psycho and just as you know.
Yeah, and plus on top of that, drummers get all the chicks.
That's true.
That's right. That's right.
Look, he like glanced to his left a little bit. Like, wait a minute, maybe I don't know if I should comment on that one.
Definitely.
Come on, from Tommy Lee on down. Think about it.
Hey, Tommy Lee had something else going for him.
Get that off your mind,
You
Chris.
guys are listening to Speak Your Mind on Talk Radio WCBM 680, and we'll be right back.
Break time.
Volavo più in alto del sole, ancora più su. Sempre il mondo pian piano spariva lontano laggiù. Una musica dolce suonava. Sentro la nostalgia del passato, dove la mamma mia ho lasciato. Non ti potrò scordare.
And now more of Speak Your Mind with Derek Stroman and Jimmy Zane on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
And that's a little taste right there. That's a little taste of some of that classic Monaldi brother music
That's
right
a
there.
very traditional song right there. Romagna Mia. That's from the northern Italy mountains right there. That song.
I tell you, it put me in a mood for like some spaghetti and meatballs, man.
Definitely,
Like you know what I mean. Get you in the mood. You know,
yeah,
like you definitely get that vibe. You know, when you hear that, that's not like a song that you're gonna hear when you're out clubbing. Like hey, you're not going out to a club to hear that. However,
Play some
you're
Volati for me.
You're going someplace mellow. There's wine. There's a good environment.
Definitely.
People are dressed nice. A ball of some sort, and that's the kind of music you want playing in the background.
It's good dance music. I'm telling you, these people, they love dancing, and they want to hear a waltz, they want to hear tangos, they want to hear cha-chas, they want to hear everything. And
yeah, and
we do
that's Ron Savage also, who's queuing up the music, and he's a master at this, man. He's really good. He's playing for our audience the right music at the right time. Yeah, that's that halo.
Oh man, that's it.
God bless you, Ron Savage.
That's it. I
Hey,
went to
I'm
church
not blessing
today and
anybody.
everything. I'll tell you what, it's a pleasure. This music is so much beautiful. I love going always down to Little Italy, and I tell you, these guys when they play, what you hear now is terrific and beautiful. But when you see them live, I'm telling you right now, it's just outstanding.
Yeah, and
Thank you, Ron.
that's what I'm hearing.
No, they're not just a band that I like. They're my friends too. Every one of them are my friends, and I love them very dearly. They're just great people, man. But when you go see them live, you see the family, 100%. There it is, and you can see the fun in their faces when they get on stage. I always take pictures. The one promos I was doing, some of them are my own pics.
Wow. And that's what I'm saying. He's very good. You can't take that lightly. He's very good at queuing up the right songs for the right time.
Yeah.
You know, it's the mood, it's
setting,
the flow of the show. And, again, what better music to play than that? Classic Italian music, And I was out tonight. I was at a place called Squires in Dundalk, and, I reside in Dundalk. And I was with some people, Bill Bean, and it was not so much a meet and greet, but there was, a dinner, and it was a gathering of many people. And, I want to give a couple shouts out. I want to give a shout out to Paula at Squires. She actually worked there, and she did a phenomenal job taking care of that semi-large crowd that was there. I want to give a shout out to the professor, Professor Herman. The professor is he's a metaphysicist, so he's pretty indulged in things, and it was funny
My
because
kind of guy.
Yeah, and look, I cannot believe that you just said that, P. Hill, because that's what Bill said. Bill said he absolutely said it. He said if P. Hill was here, boy, he'd be loving Professor Herman right now. I'm quoting him. That was so funny that he said that.
Hey, great minds think alike.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then, I told everybody that was there who was going to be on the show tonight, and the Monaldi brothers, and their music was going to be played, and it was like a bunch of people say, "Yeah, we know them, we know who they are. Oh yeah, they play all over Little Italy." So that was phenomenal to see everybody's eyes open wide like that, just at the mention of such a historic band. At this point, you're talking about over 5 decades of blessing people with great music. So
it's a long time.
That's amazing, and I guess now, over the years, you guys figured out that you're going to have to, play some music a little modernized to keep up with the time. So, just explain to our WCBM listeners of the wide range of music that you guys are capable and willing to play for people.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, we definitely play all that traditional stuff. We played the old Sinatra and Dean Martin and even in all that 60s, 70s disco, and so that's what happened. We had to start change with the times. So as the brothers got older and they started playing into the 70s, 80s, the 90s, they knew that the people want to come out. They want to hear that new song that was on the radio. They want to hear that new Bruno Mars song. I mean, I especially, I listen to the radio. I listen to what's going on out there, and I hear when a song comes on the radio, I know it's a hit, and and I say to myself, yeah, I want to hear that. If I go to a club, I want to hear a band play that song and try to do it. So we practice it, we get it together, and we go. And so people come up to us and they say, "Wow, you got that song down pretty quick. How'd you get that new song down quick?" And I was just like, "Well, I mean, we got to do it. You got to do it. If you want to stay relevant, you want to stay getting gigs and getting booked, you gotta play music that people want to hear. And then you go back to the old classic stuff again. You keep it. You got to know how to balance.
You got to balance it
right.
out.
And see, to tie into that though. I think that where a lot of bands may fall short and fail sometimes is when they actually try to focus too much on pretty much just feeling like they put themselves in the typecast, like they feel as though they have to keep up with the times. By ignoring it and just allowing yourself to become diverse and versatile, that's how you evolve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's why we take requests. Requests are huge with us. So people want to hear something, they tell us, and we play for them.
Salute, man. Salute.
Yeah. Here's some more Monaldi Brothers music right now.
Take
a listen.
Whole World Loves Italians. It's a good song right here.
This is that the name of this?
Whole World Loves Italians, yeah.
Okay. Great name.
Great
song. We're gonna listen to this song as we glide out into our break, and we'll be back with Angelo from the Monaldi Brothers in just a few.
With just a bowl of pasta bazoo. They laugh when they're sad, and they cry when they're glad. That's why the whole world loves Italian. Al di là del bene più prezioso ci sei tu. Al di là dell'infinito del mondo ci sei tu, al di là delle cose più belle, al di là delle stelle, ci sei tu, al di là, ci sei tu per me.
And now more of Speak Your Mind with Derek Stroman and Jimmy Zane on Talk Radio 680
I'm feeling
WCBM.
that. I'm really feeling this music. It's smooth. Puts you, like I said, in that mood. It's like it's romantic. It romanticizes. It puts you. Yeah, it makes you. I tell you, automatically, you envision candlelight dinner.
Well, my grandfather. I never met him. He died before I was born. But you hear so many stories about him. He's a legend. And he always told the boys, make love to the music. He said, make love to it. When you
That's
play,
right.
when you play, don't play fast, don't play. Make love to the music.
Oh man!
So
that's
when you
great.
say romanticize it, I think about that. So
Absolutely, and that's exactly the way it feels. Before we go any further into the questioning, because I do have some more for you here, I want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors in Gary's Automotive and Performance, located at 3808 North Point Boulevard in Dundalk, Maryland. They've been in business for over 25 years. Get on out there and see Gary if you're having any automotive problems and need some things taken care of. Chrissy is the front desk supervisor over there. She'll make sure you get your vehicle back on time and just the way you want it, okay? Great people over there. Again, they've been in business for over 25 years. The number to call is 410-284-3030. That number is 410-284-3030, okay?
While we're talking about vehicles real quick, I just wanted to give a quick shout out if
Sure.
I could, to there was an Uber Lyft driver I met today at Wawa. He was really nice. He was awesome. He's going to be one of our newest listeners. I just wanted to give him a shout out, say hi, and thanks for being a listener, man.
This is an Uber. You said Lyft?
Dude, Lyft and Uber.
Lyft and Uber.
He's working late nights tonight, man. He's
Okay.
a hard-working
Doubling
man.
down.
Okay, appreciate him for that, and being out there and
Get those
and-
drunk people home safe.
That's right, and servicing people, making sure that they get home safely. So big shouts out. What's this gentleman's name again?
I didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't get his name. Well, it's,
You know
Mr.
who you
Uber,
are.
Mr.
Yeah.
Uber.
Well,
yeah, Mr. Uber, Mr. Lyft.
Hopefully he's
Call up.
listening.
You got my card.
Hopefully he's listening. And the same thing goes to all of you listeners out there. If you want to call in and talk to Angelo a little bit about the Monaldi brothers and everything that they're doing, and maybe where to book them, how to book them, that information we will be giving you here shortly. But we're going to get back to the line of questioning that we have here for Mr. Angelo. And I'm going to start by asking you, or continue by asking you, how old were you when you actually became a member of the band?
Yeah, so I definitely was on the stage when I was younger, 5, 6, 7 years old. I'll be at a lot of Italian festivals up on the stage. My father had a little tiny drum set for me in the front, and I would sit up there and really absorb it. But I remember my first real gig, I was like about 10 or 11 years old.
Wow.
And, my dad, he told me, he said, when you can set up your drum set by yourself without help from me, then you can start doing it with me. And so I would be downstairs in the basement, and I was just putting it up, taking it down, putting it up, taking it down, until I could really get a groove with it. And
At 11 years old.
about 11 years old. And I remember my first gig was American Legion, Silver Spring Road, and up in Perry Hall. Bill McLeod hired me. He was,
Wow.
he was my first boss.
Do
He
you
always told me.
remember the feeling? I mean, an 11-year-old on stage in front of an audience. I mean, your nerves must have been going crazy.
I was.
If you just said
I
something,
was definitely.
Sorry about that.
Got another guest on the
Technical
show.
difficulties.
Siri, calm down. Siri, just calm down. All
He
right.
just said something.
I definitely.
That was my mom, ladies and gentlemen. That was my mother.
Yeah, I definitely think the nerves weren't as big of a factor because I think I was on the stage so much beforehand. Just seeing the way the world was with
Natural.
it. But I think I was more nervous just with my father, like saying, like, okay, if he's giving me the reins here, let's see if I can do it. And it all worked out.
Your father, interesting story about your father, and we
Yeah.
were talking a
Mario,
little
his
bit
name
about
is Mario.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about your father in the pre-show,
Yeah.
and evidently your father has a side business also where he sharpens knives for establishments.
Yes. Yeah. It's a very old, unique Italian job. It's knife sharpening is, yeah. It's the only job you can walk into a place with a deadly weapon and walk out with money.
Go figure in Little Italy.
all around.
That
So
is something, you
Yeah.
don't know too many people that that actually do that.
yeah, my father does it. My uncle Frank, the drummer for the Monaldi Brothers, he also has his own business. He's a lot of people know him down in Hamilton, Overley area, and yeah. But my father, it's definitely a very unique business. It's like Amazon for knives. They walk into a restaurant, they take the dull knives out, leave them the sharp knives, and it's a weekly thing, weekly transfer.
Rather convenient.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that
is.
is-
It's convenience. It's definitely a convenient. I
Well,
mean,
so-
you'd be surprised when a dull knife is at a restaurant.
And
how hard it is.
that's what I was just getting ready to ask you. So evidently it's not that easy to sharpen a knife properly.
The right way, yeah, definitely.
and that's where I was going with this question.
Yeah.
So if I'm at home and I have some dull knives, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there have knives in their cabinets
Yeah.
and in their silverware drawer that are dull.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you're like, man, most people just get tired of them and throw them out.
Buy another set of
buy
knives,
another
yeah.
set of knives. But some people try to sharpen them.
Right.
Now, have you ever seen? I have, by the way. Have you ever seen somebody's knives after they've attempted to sharpen them themselves?
Girl sitting to the left of me over here. She's got some jacked up knives in her kitchen.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking
There
about.
is a method and a proper procedure in sharpening a blade.
Yes.
And that's why a blade
service,
sharpener.
yeah.
can actually stay in business and be lucrative doing
Definitely.
it.
I mean, and this goes back, like I said, the guys used to come to people's doors with the machine and with sharpened knives outside, scissors, all that stuff right at their doorstep. And it's definitely, you need that edge. You want to break that edge real nice. And so the machines that they used to use was just this big wheel. It would spin, and they would use their hand. They'd take it across a couple times, had a little burr on it. You would edge that off, and you have a nice little sharp knife. But now they have these hollow grind machines. And it's just like, it's about 6 of those wheels spinning really fast, and you just put the knife in a couple times, and it comes out. It's the sharpest knife you're gonna have, and it lasts. It lasts for a long time. But there's people, like I said, the people that are cutting fish, cutting meats and steaks in these restaurants, they want really sharp knives. So
you definitely need a sharp knife. As a cook myself, dull knife is nothing worse, man. End up cutting yourself is just not a good deal.
And
hot dogs don't count.
All right, damn.
What'd you say, dogs?
Hot dogs don't count.
Hot dogs.
Hey, I make mac and cheese too.
Don't count.
Don't count.
Ramen noodles don't count.
Oh man, that's my whole recipe book, man, right there.
So from listening to you explain it, it's almost like this is something that you now know how to do yourself.
Oh yeah, I mean, going through high school, I definitely helped my father with running his routes and going in and out of restaurants, dealing with people, nice people, angry people. It's definitely it was a good social skills learning experience. Yeah.
So what else do you do for a living? I mean, what do you have a regular daytime job?
Yeah. Right now I work at a special needs school in Parkville, Maryland.
Oh wow,
that's awesome.
Congratulations for your service, man. That's
awesome.
Major. That is super extraordinary.
The lady next to me too, she works at the same school.
Wow.
And thank you also, Miss Sarah. That is phenomenal.
It's definitely. I never thought I was going to be there, but
it's got to be stressful.
It is. It's stressful, but it's rewarding at the same time. Every day's different. The kids are they're great kids. They have their disabilities, but you can see that they want to work through them, and it's definitely great when you see a kid turn a corner or make progress in something. So
that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy.
It does, and then the kid throws a chair at you or or hits you or bites you. And
after all of your efforts,
but then the next day they're cool. It's all right. So
thanks, Teach.
Thanks, Teach.
It's definitely
they're very temperamental, so that's why your job as a teacher, and I've always been big on people that teach young people or teach anybody for that matter, and what their job entails. Not only do you have to deal with all different types of personalities, you have to in the same setting try to teach all these different personalities a certain type of curriculum. And that is not easy to do because a lot of people, again, even dealing in special needs, if you have to teach a group, then you're still trying to teach different people the same thing in the same community when that individual might need a lot of individual time.
Yep.
And you might not have that time all the time, so you're still trying to get a message across to a group. And that's, again, it's difficult to do if you're dealing with too many personalities that are hard to contain. So if you're teaching Johnny and then Elizabeth is stargazing and you're trying to get her attention, how do you go about doing that? So that's why I really commend teachers in what they do, and especially the special needs.
It's definitely a team sport in special needs. We have it's usually one in our school, at least it's 1-on-1 with all the kids. So we or at least in our section of it, there's two. We have a behavior support kind of classrooms upstairs where it's more kids with emotional kind of breakdowns. That's more of a one teacher to the 5 kid kind of classroom. But where we work in the children with advanced learning disabilities, it's definitely 1-on-1. So
that's
each
great.
kid has their 1-on-1, but then there's times where we all come together and we're working together on doing our thing. But like you said, that individual attention with some of these guys, it's definitely important.
Is this like a public?
It's Baltimore County Public School, but I'm telling you right now, White Oak, it's borderline. Like with the way we deal with behaviors and the kids we have in our school, it's definitely unique. It's a very unique school.
Yeah, and again, thank you guys for your service in doing that. You're young people yourselves, so you've taken the initiative to really get out there and do your part as a youngster to help. So, in other words, you're not out there just criticizing. You're not out there just saying, oh, man, this should be better. You're actually getting out there and you're playing your part and doing your part in making things better. And that's major, and that's what's commendable to me.
Try to give millennials a better name, I guess.
Right, exactly. I want to get back to the band just a little bit before I transition into the next topic I'd like to ask you your opinions on. And we kind of already touched on it a little bit, but let's say somebody would like to book the Monaldi brothers. How would they go about doing that?
Right. So I guess the easiest way for a lot of people now is Facebook. So we have a Facebook page, Monaldi Variety Music. It's called, so they can go on that page and they can message us on there, comment on there, and you'll definitely get all the bands that way.
Nice.
And so if you have something you want to in particular or something a band you want to get, you go to that page and we'll get you in touch with that band.
Can you name those other bands too?
Definitely.
I don't think we touched on that yet.
So you got the Monaldi brothers. That's the original 5. Well, not the my Uncle Joe. He passed away. He passed away.
I'm sorry to hear
a few years
that.
back. Yeah. So he So it's still the 4 brothers, and they'll still play and they still go out. And then we have Mario and Sons. That's my father.
Okay.
Myself, my brother, Mario Jr., and our guitar player Alex Libby, phenomenal guitar player. And we play that's where I say the Sinatra to Bruno Mars stuff. We definitely try to play more of the newer stuff. But we can throw that old stuff in every once in a while, and we do more of the bar crowd. We do bull roasts, weddings. We try to give variety with that band a lot.
Sure.
Another band we have is my cousin Stevie and his brother Frankie. They call Mixed Company, and they're definitely a great swing band.
Nice.
If people want to swing dance, if you want to cut the rug a lot with people, that's the band to go to for that. And then we can do any type of combination. If people want a 2-piece duo, if people want trios, the whole band. Yeah, we can bring 15
really
people in a room. We can do it. Yeah, we can 3 drummers. We can set it up. It'd be cool.
Really mix it up if you guys. I mean, with all those different entities that are all under the same umbrella.
And
absolutely.
I always tell people the best way to see that whole family dynamic, the St. Leo's festivals in Little Italy, the St. Gabriel's and St. Anthony Festival in June and August. You come down there and you see us all playing. The whole family's together. We got wine behind the stage.
Oh, yeah. I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm there.
We take care of you that way.
I love it.
It's a great family. It's like inviting you to our family get together down there. So it's definitely great to see the neighborhood and how everybody's doing down there and play for them.
Yeah, well, I talk to Ron Savage about this all the time. That family structure is something that is missing in the communities, all kinds of households in our modern day and time. It's sad. Everybody's out doing their own thing. No more sit-down dinners with the entire household. It's something that really needs to be brought back, and that's the one thing I notice about certain ethnicities as far as cultures, like the Italian culture.
Yeah, Sunday dinners.
These guys are, and Ron talks about this all the time. It still happens. It still happens. Yeah. We're living proof. You guys rather are living proof, because I do it as well. I try my best to do it with my family, but you guys are living proof how you can make it happen. What are you, any less busy than somebody else? I seriously doubt it.
Right, and that's kind of sad, not to cut you off, bro, but it's kind of sad that sometimes in life we have to understand that for the most part, family and friends, is kind of hard to get them to support what you're doing, because they would be the first or the main folks you would automatically assume that would pretty much back you and have you, give you support.
Don't worry, I'll be there, Pino. Don't worry, I'll be there. I promise.
But usually it's just your business affiliates and immediate friends and people from all walks of life when it comes to what you're doing.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Well, when we get back from this break, we're going to talk to Angelo about his take on politics.
Ooh,
okay.
All right.
I can't wait to hear this.
Special
Wait
announcement.
till you find out what my bachelor's degree's in.
This is great.
All right. His bachelor's degree in being a bachelor.
And we'll be right back after these messages, folks.
un'aria serena dopo una tempesta per aria fresca. I'm just gigolo everywhere I go. People know the part I'm playing. I pay for everything, selling these romance. Oh, what to say? I said there will come a day my youth pass away. What will they say about me when the end comes? I know I'm just gigolo.
And now more of Speak Your Mind with Derek Stroman and Jimmy Zane on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Hey guys, we're back. If you want to call the station here, the number to call is 410-922-6680. We are in the studio with was it Angelo? Sorry for a minute there.
Wow.
I wanted to
I mentioned a lot of Italian names.
It's funny. For some reason, I wanted to call you Ronaldo. It was kind of weird.
I don't play soccer now.
Yeah. Angelo.
Yeah. My mom
Brothers.
actually texted in. She said, "I got to mention that I'm 25% Polish too." So she said, "If I don't mention the Polish side, I'm not doing justice." So
You don't mention the Polish side.
Yeah, tomorrow.
All right, well, shout out to Poland, everybody.
Hey,
in Poland.
yeah.
You know, he didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. Watch us.
They know how to party.
Yeah.
Probably just as much as the Italians do. Like they're doing a big thing in Our Lady of Hope tomorrow. Big thing.
The Italian side of him is saying, "Look, forget about it.
Forget about it, man. Hey.
Forget about it.
Forget about
Come on.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
It looks like we got a caller.
Oh,
We got a caller.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we take him?
Yeah, as soon as we find out who this is. Oh, it's actually Mario. Let's see what it says here.
The senior,
Yeah.
the dad.
It's
my father?
your pops.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Your pops is calling in right now. Mario Monaldi. Sorry, let him in. Hey, sorry, Mr. Monaldi, for almost
He's on
forgetting
now.
your son's name. Welcome to the Speak Your Mind show.
You there, Dad?
How are you?
Hey.
Hey, what's happening?
Nice to have you.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah, he's that's my father right there. He's the youngest Monaldi brother. Yeah.
Mr. Monaldi, have you been listening to the show?
Yes, I have been.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I think my son's been doing a great job for us and representing the family well.
Good.
Good to hear.
I tell you what, he's a really, really fine gentleman that you've raised there. We really appreciate you for that, and everything that is going on in his life is absolutely phenomenal, and the things that he does at a young age. And we're going to hear him talk a little bit about politics before we close the show, Mr. Monaldi.
We better plug where we're playing first before people they might want to leave if they hear my politics.
But that's fine, and I'm going to let him rip on it right now. But
Well, he's got a degree in politics, so you should know something.
wow.
Wow.
And there you go, a young guy, 24 years old, with a degree, a graduate in political science. And
do I
go
feel
ahead,
like an
go ahead
idiot.
and talk about it now. We don't have that much time left
Yeah.
on the show,
Okay.
so go ahead and talk a little bit about. First of all, let me pose a question to you.
Go ahead.
How do you feel about this new administration?
Okay.
Well,
For the
anything
record.
starts like that.
For the record, I am a Republican. I am a registered Republican. I voted for Donald Trump. I did. I felt he was the change we needed at the time, and I felt we should give him some time and let's see what he can do. Ask me right now how I feel about the guy. He's out there. He's very out there.
Yeah.
But I knew that coming
Yeah.
in. And the thing was with him is I kept saying, as a political scientist, technically, I kept saying to my brother, I kept saying to my father, everybody, I said, he's not going to make it through the primary. He's not going to make it through this next step, and he did. He's not going to make it to the debates. He did. He's not going to get to Hillary and take Hillary to town with this anything. He did. He's not going to win. He won.
And he did.
So it's like, all right, let's see what he can do now, because everyone says he can't build a wall, and let's see what he can do, because
Well, he can build it. We're just going to have to pay a tax on it.
it's going to be weird. So
It's going to be built out of 100% Legos.
the way I look at it is, with at least my generation, is we do like to see people kind of reach out. I feel like to see what they can do, give them the chance to screw up or succeed, and so I really you can't really gauge him yet. But I mean, he's got a track record. He definitely has a track record.
Right, because
Yeah.
I mean, we can all say, yeah, let's give him a chance to see what he's gonna do. But the thing is, from afar, we've already seen what he is capable of.
I mean,
But you already gave Hitler a chance.
From divorces to bankruptcies to, grabbing some snatch.
Let's talk about.
Hey, I'll grab his wife snatch.
Hey, first lady. That's the first lady now, guys.
Right. Take it easy.
Yeah, I love my life. Just in case you find me somewhere,
I'm just kidding.
sprinkle with crack all on me.
Hey, Mr. Monaldi, are you still on the line?
Oh, jeez.
Yes, I'm still on the line.
Oh yeah, he's there.
How do you feel about your son's statements?
Well, like I told him, everybody deserves a chance. I know you said he wants to do this, he wants to do that, but he made a big comeback. He's trying to do good. If he doesn't, he doesn't. If he does, he does. I'm saying if they put anybody up there but Hillary, I think the Democrats would have won. But Hillary was just, I don't know. She wasn't the right person at the right time.
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
Getting back to the family.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
they're
right.
cringing.
That's right.
They're cringing right now talking politics. I'm not gonna lie.
In Dundalk, at the Lady of Hope in Dundalk, there's a great thing called the Polish Festival, and there's going to be a great family band there, and a family music, accordions, trumpets. There's going to be a lot of Polish festival, Polish food at the Lady of Hope on Lynch Avenue in Dundalk tomorrow, and then there's a family affair for everybody.
My mom must be twisting his arm.
It's going to be great.
That's great. That's a major shout out.
Nice.
Everybody who heard that, get on out there, man. Go support the Monaldi brothers. This is them you're listening to right now. And I remember Angelo's name on the outro. This has been another episode of Speak Your Mind.
Before we leave,
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Dustin has to give a little shout out.
hey, before we
Love
leave,
you guys.
tune in next week. Please,
Have a great
we got
week.
a secret prank phone call. It's going to be real funny. Tune in next week. It's going to be a great show.
Thank you, Mr. Monaldi. You have a great one. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.